I'm sitting here trying to pull myself together to walk into work. But divorcing someone who wants to take more than they already have is... I can't even express the level of exhaustion that I have. But my kids deserve stability. And he's already created so much chaos and uncertainty for the future and financial insecurity. I'm working my ass off to keep the house from being taken away from my kids. My ass off. I have been working my ass off. And all he's been doing is threatening to take it away. And what was supposed to be an uncontested divorce. He has fought me tooth and nail throughout this entire time. From the original agreement that we had. Now he doesn't want to pay child support. And he's hiring a lawyer to take everything else that he thinks is his. Because he is a selfish bastard who hasn't already taken enough. Hasn't already gambled enough. But our kids deserve stability. They deserve their home. They don't deserve any more uncertainty and to be uprooted any more than they already have. So I'm going to continue to fight this bastard. Even though I don't have anything left in me. And I am exhausted in a way that I can't even express. But I'm a mom first. And my kids deserve stability in the chaos that he created. So I'm going to fight him.
Files for divorce, wants to take his home, half his money, put him on child support. She expects the man to just say yes while she's taking everything from him, including his family. I really like this expression, stability, because stability, according to women, is their happiness, because in her view, it's what's best for the kids. That's why we hear the phrase, a man sacrifices his health for his family, while a woman sacrifices her family for her happiness. Welcome to the wall. I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like and subscribed. Now, let's get started.
I just went to court for the first time for this divorce. And that was brutal. I was not prepared for that feeling. And the craziest part is we're not even divorced. It was an emergency hearing to get our divorce reinstated because my ex answered the divorce too late, not within the time frame that he was supposed to, so our case got caught up in the system and dropped. So it was like 30 seconds, literally. We went before the judge, raised our right hand and said, yes, we still want this divorce to happen. But I was not prepared for the level of emotion that I was going to feel. Sounds so stupid, but all I could picture was walking into that same court building, doing what was necessary and filing the paperwork to get married and taking those stupid pictures outside the courthouse with our marriage certificate. It's like a death of an entire chapter of your life and what you thought was going to be your future. And I was crying so hard in the bathroom before the court hearing and having pep talks with myself like a toddler in front of the mirror, like, you can do this, you're strong, you're gonna be fine. and I couldn't hold it together. I walked outside the bathroom, and the janitor saw me absolutely losing it. And bless that man, because I looked at him and I said, "Tell me something, anything good right now." And he just hugged me and said, "Everything's gonna be okay." And just, I think God sent you the right people at the right time. And I'm so grateful, and I know that he didn't expect that. But I got to learn a little bit about his story in the 5 minutes before the court hearing. And he ended up hugging me like 3 times.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
As we saw in the intro video, that's what she wanted. She even has a channel dedicated to talking about her divorce, to sharing her divorce journey. That's how women are nowadays. What surprises me is how you close one of the hardest chapters of your family, the one you caused, and then you cry, saying it's the hardest thing you've ever been through, when it was your own decisions that led you there. The one who really has it hardest is your ex-husband. He has to figure out how to rebuild his life because the person he trusted most one day woke up and told him, "I want you to leave." He has to move out of his home, stop seeing his kids every day. He's the one who actually went through real changes. You, on the other hand, stay in the same house with your kids every day. You don't miss those moments, while your ex-husband has to go out and find a new place to live. But let's continue.
Just to get me to stop crying so hard. Anyways, I went inside, and again, out of the blue, one of my best friends, who was originally the person that made me wake up throughout this process, and she sat me down and said, "Mackenzie, what are you doing? You're only 30 years old. You have so much life to live. You don't deserve what's happened to you. You kids don't deserve this. Wake up." And she's partly the reason why I was able to see finally what was going on. She just texted me randomly about something completely irrelevant to what I was going through at that moment, sitting in the courtroom, waiting for the judge. And I asked her to tell me what I needed to hear to be strong and to get through this, and she did. But yeah, that first court hearing where you physically walk in the doors to get a divorce is brutal. It is brutal. I really thought that I was prepared for it. I was not. That was really hard. But I got through it. And it's just one more thing that I had to get through in this process to be free and to feel peace and to move on. But one thing I'm never gonna do is sugarcoat how rough that was. It was brutal. Having to look at your ex, who you once pictured a life with, who you have kids with, doing kind of the final step to free yourself of each other is indescribable. It's really painful.
We've just uncovered the seed of the conflict. That's why misery loves company. It was the single friend who advised her to leave her husband. The single friend helped her break the stability of her home and her children's lives. That's why I always say, if all your wife's friends are divorced, you'll be next at some point. They'll start framing everything you do at home as negative. They'll poison her mind until you become the villain in every situation. You'll notice everything turns into a problem. Conflicts start over the smallest things because she has a friend who's painting you as the bad guy. So that friend ends up with a single companion to go out partying with. That idea that she has plenty of time at 30 with 2 kids doesn't work as well as it's made out to.
I just got through, barely, but I just got through the first court hearing for this divorce, and it was brutal. And I got myself a donut. Sob into my donut now. It was fucking brutal.
But this is the end of the first hearing. Now let's look at what came next after she finally got divorced. Because many times the hardest part doesn't begin in court. It starts afterward, when you have to live with the real consequences of everything you set in motion. Let's continue.
I made it. Honestly, I feel relief, but I did start crying a little bit. I pulled it together very quickly, and it was just kind of like one of those quiet tears that you just kind of wipe away fast because it like starts welling up in you and you start feeling the feels, and you're in a courtroom and you don't want anyone staring at you like last time. And it was like 60 seconds. It was over very quickly. We were the first people called up on the docket. It was very, very quick. Not any less intimidating by any means. It's still scary. It's a scary process, but it's over. And then when we were walking out, my ex-husband congratulated me, which I don't even know how to explain how confusing that felt, honestly. But I'm, in a nutshell, just done trying to understand him. I've spent enough years doing that. But what I do want to understand is that this was the hardest fought battle, mentally and emotionally, of my life. I fought every day in ways that no one ever even saw. I lost sleep. I questioned myself. I felt like I was breaking into a million pieces every step of the way, and I kept going anyways because I didn't have a choice. And I am so tired and exhausted. Like, now that it's over, I feel like my body went like this, like I could breathe again. And most of all, I'm proud of myself for surviving it. We still have a long way to go. We still have to co-parent and figure all this out. So life is just not magically going to get easy overnight, but at least we're not at war through lawyers. And of course, there's still grief there. It is still sad, but this chapter is closed. And I can breathe, and we're no longer at war with each other. I think now is the time to really focus on our kids and move on and just try to find peace. So, anyways, it's over. Thank God, because that was not easy to get through. And it took everything I had. Everything I had. So, it is over. I am really, really fucking proud of myself for the resilience that I've shown thus far, and just surviving this from start to finish. It's been a long road, and it's over.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Notice the sign. He congratulated her. That says a lot more about him than about her, because it shows that man has already gone through the hardest phase and understood something fundamental. That chapter is over, and now it's time to move forward. Now, if she's around 30, it's very likely he's in a similar range. And for a man, that's still an age with plenty of room to rebuild, start over, and even find a new partner more easily. Women like this think that in their 30s, with 2 kids and a divorce, life will be easy. Her friend makes her believe she's living her best life, when that's not the case. Reality hits hard, especially when the things your husband used to do for you now fall on you. Watch how quickly things unfold in the next video.
It's currently 7 a.m. I am getting ready for work, and I am having a crash out. That sounds way dramatic, but I'm currently healing in real time, and there are certain things that happen in your life that make you like put things into perspective for a second. I had a pretty shitty day yesterday. I got into a car accident, and I'm fine. The other person is fine. It's very minor damage, but my point in bringing this up is that there were a lot of people that I could call in that moment, and my first thought is still wanting to call my ex-husband. And that moment kind of threw me back down to reality. Like, I am not this person that just goes scorched earth when somebody makes a mistake, because none of us are perfect. There were a few times where my ex-husband was late to pick up the kids, or he slept in, and I made him out on a very public forum to be a bad dad. And I, at the end of the day, don't think he's a bad dad. I think sometimes God has a plan to knock you back down to reality when you start to get a little too cocky. And that's exactly what happened to me recently. I just got a divorce, and I am still angry, sad, upset, and going through this healing journey. And he's doing it too. And no one is perfect. So no, I don't think he's a bad dad. And whenever we go scorched earth with each other and just start going back and forth about like diabolical things, it gets ugly real quick. And that gives me more stress and anxiety than anything else. Like, I'm not gonna continue this journey of like slamming him and then he reacts like a pissed off person would. Because let's be real, if I made a few mistakes and he painted out me to be a bad mom, I would be pissed too. He is still the first person that I want to call when I make a mistake or I need help with the kids or in a car accident. And it is taking a lot for me to say that out loud right now. He's made mistakes and he's done bad things, but that doesn't define him. I don't think it defines any person. And I have to learn. I am resilient and I am strong, but no one deserves to be defamed, especially as a parent, when 99% of the time they are there for their kids and are very present. That is all. And every time I go scorched earth with this man, I regret it. This is me healing in real time, and it's not perfect. It's just a roller coaster. A fucking roller coaster. But God knocked me down to reality yesterday, and it's just not worth it.
Oh, now you want to call your ex-husband, but you'd be better off calling your friend. Call the one who filled your head, the one who told you to get divorced, that everything would be fine and that you deserved something better. Now you're realizing everything your husband did for you. All those things that got handled, that you never noticed, but that didn't just take care of themselves. I love it when karma works fast, because she was calling him a piece of trash. Now you want to be on good terms with him. Now you acknowledge he was present, that he handled things, that he helped, and that he didn't deserve to be dragged the way you did. Now reality is hitting you. You destroyed your marriage. You left a good man who, like any man, had flaws, but also had real value, things that could have been worked through. Now you're regretting it, realizing you wrecked your marriage. And by following the advice of a friend who didn't sleep beside you, didn't raise kids with you, and didn't live your reality. You messed it up. Everything looked great when there were no problems, but now that man isn't in the house, you're going to see problems start showing up at home, with the car, financially. I hope you call that friend to fix it.
Women.
We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about this couple's divorce story? Why do divorced friends so often end up influencing their friends' relationships in a negative way? If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.